I'm Lily Hines from Racing X, and today I'm joined by Pharjack Jenkins, who fights this Sunday here in Sydney. Jack, you are no stranger to the Racing X channel. It's great to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back. I think we planned this a while ago when I was on the show last time, talking a bit more about racing to come and do something a little bit more fight related. So excited to be here.
And you've just finished your camp. You're in the final stages of your weight cut. For those who are new to the UFC, could you explain how tough these camps actually are and what the weight cutting process is like?
Yeah, look, it's probably not too dissimilar to what jockeys go through in terms of we sort of have a weight we have to weigh in at. The key difference being I get to weigh in at the weight and then I get to rehydrate and put all the weight back on before I have to go out there and perform. Whereas the jockeys have to go in and ride, a 600 kilo animal at that lightweight. But for me, I've got it pretty close down to a science. My manager just said to me this morning, he looked at me and he guessed my weight like to within 100 grams because, we know sort of where we're at day to day. So I'm feeling good. Today, like my media day, is my favorite day of the week, apart from
Is
the
it really?
fight day. Yeah, because it's just your mind's on this stuff all day. You get to sort of cruise through, and
Yeah.
whereas back when you're fighting on Eternal and the local scene and that, you kind of just sit at home by yourself, kind of thinking about the fight and waiting around. So being up here, it's good, and I'm excited.
Yeah, and it's a huge weekend for your gym, Absolute MMA. You mentioned Eternal. You were previously the Eternal featherweight champion, and your teammate Mason, he's about to fight on Saturday night. How's that all been going for him?
Yeah, really good. Mason's career, he was kind of a victim of his own success because he went from, a non-MMA fighter through amateur training and turned pro so quickly because he was so talented. And then unfortunately, sometimes when that happens, some little holes in your game can get exposed at the higher level that you might have found a little bit earlier. But he is, I would say, he's without a doubt the most talented fighter from our gym. Even Josh Coolabau, another UFC fighter, came down and did some sparring with us a few weeks ago,
I did
and
see that.
he sparred Mason, and he goes, "That kid's really really good."
Wow, really?
Yeah, so Mason's record isn't indicative of how good he really is. So I won't be watching the fight because I'll get too jacked up. One of my friends fought on the last Eternal, and he was in Harry Webb. He was in the best fight maybe they've ever seen on a local scene.
That
And I
was the
was
best fight I've
so
ever
glad that
watched.
I was so glad that I didn't go because me and my other mate who's here were like, if we went, we would have just been rattled when we got home. So I got to sort of protect my own energy a little bit there, but I'll be rooting for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know you love your horse racing. There is a horse race on Saturday. Will you be giving that a cheeky watch or you'll miss out this
Yeah,
time?
no, I'll be watching the races on Saturday. It's brilliant. Like usually, because I have to weigh in on Saturday morning for a Sunday fight, I sort of going through that rehydration process, and you can't sort of focus too much on anything. But I'll be back up to 8 by the time I go to sleep Friday night. So Saturday I can just chill in the room and watch the races. We're back to Group One racing in Melbourne, and we've got the Millennium on up in Sydney. So it's a good weekend of racing.
And I do want to talk about your fight against Gabriel Santos. At this point in your career, what does this fight mean to you and what are you expecting from him?
Yeah, look, as far as what I'm expecting from Gabriel, he'll be the best guy I've ever fought. Like he went to a split decision that he lost, which most people thought he won against Lerone Murphy, who's ranked 8 in our division. So the way I've approached the fight for the camp is that he's a top 10 talent. He just doesn't have the number next to his name. In the same way that I think I'm a top 10 talent, I just don't have the number next to my name. So it's a chance for me to go out there and show everyone that I'm in that category and I'm doing it against a guy who's really good. While he may not have the name value of a Barboza or somebody who is ranked, he's got the talent. So I can only deal with what's in front of me. As far as how it looks on the whole card and what it means for my career, the UFC aren't silly. They don't put on fights for no reason, and they don't make decisions for no reason. And this card has no Kai Kara France. It's got no Dan Hooker, no Volk, no Whitaker, no Bam Bam, no Adesanya. It creates a big star power vacuum. And, for us that are coming up through the ranks, it's a chance for you to step into that void and become that star. So, I'm the headline of the prelims, and I think they've done that for a reason. And intend on stepping in and filling that void.
Absolutely, and you truly are such an exciting fighter to watch. I don't think it'll be long before you are ranked. And just witnessing your low kicks, I mean, the amount of legs you've broken, it's just unbelievable. And to see this new changing of the guard, if you will, in talent in the UFC at the moment, it's really refreshing. So many guys making their debut. Is there anyone that you think we should look out for in particular?
Look, debuts coming up on this card. We've got Colby Thickness, which he's got a really tough fight. But Colby, one thing that Colby has is he finds a way to win. You know, he's been in fights where he's been in trouble. He's probably been in fights where he's been, you know, getting beaten in certain aspects, but he always finds a way to win. So I got a lot of respect for the way Colby goes about his work. John O'Micallef is, you know, really strong. He's a southpaw. He's fighting Kevin Doucette. That's an interesting fight. One guy I think who just gets better, like every fight, is Quillian Salkild, another Eternal guy. And he just, like, every time he shows up, he's better than the last time. So we just have no idea where his ceiling is yet. So I would probably say out of everyone debuting, I'm most excited for Quillian.
Well, Jack, it's always a pleasure seeing you fight here in Oz. We can't wait to see what you bring on Sunday. And as well as this, we have some exciting news that we're bringing out with Jack. So stay tuned for that. Thank you and good luck.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.